Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from my basement bunker beneath Kettle Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour. It's always great to have you along. Getting just a ton of comments. We were talking about the zipper merge this morning on the Greg Belfrage Show. And so I asked folks on Facebook, what do you think? And quite a number of comments. So I want to show you some of these. Mark saying, I'll block someone who races past me in an empty lane and then tries to merge. However, I will gladly let cars next to me merge if they're in a lane filled like mine, use their blinker. Excuse me. In other words, be courteous, right? Just be courteous. Went too fast here. So Rob is saying zipper merge the most efficient way to do it. There's lots of difference of opinion over this zipper merge. Terry is saying, you saw the sign same time as I did. Only so many cars per second can pass through the affected zone. No matter if you're lined up single file or double, all it does is make it look as if the line is shorter, says Terry. Evelyn says, I've lived in Sioux Falls for over 30 years. I'm familiar with streets. The moment I see lane closed ahead, I get off that street, take a different route to my destination. And I might do that too, except right now, construction zone in Sioux Falls. I mean, construction season. It's pretty busy. I mean, I'm not in disagreement. But it's construction zone season right now. That's easier said than done, I think. Anyway, that person saying that way, I don't have to deal with the nincompoopery of zippering and the possibility of getting hit by this, by some aggressive driver. I think that's really the issue, is aggressive drivers. Aggressive drivers in this town are bad. So this Evelyn just came across the word while listening to an audiobook. I've been waiting to use it. You folks are great. So Steve is a regular. I merge as soon as I see an opening. I'll make space for one late merger, not the whole line of people trying to push their way in. Therein lies the problem. Drivers in this town are not courteous. That's right. I said it. Zip merging seems to go against what we were taught in driver's ed many years ago, Terry says. Super annoying when someone waits until the last minute to get in front of me. I've seen many close calls. Then they're looking at their cell phone. Look at getting a lot of likes on that one, Terry. Kathy says it wouldn't be so bad, I guess. They went one car at a time. But it seems wherever I see someone ahead of me, just let someone in, the next car behind them thinks they can go too. Yeah, I see that all the time. It should be just one car at a time, every other lane. Allison said zipper merging would work if it started at the signs to merge. Once cars are nearly stopped at cones, it's too late. Slows down traffic all the time. Dave says, if I see a merge coming up, I get in that lane as soon as I can. But there always seems to be that one idiot that needs to get by where they're going by 2 or 3 seconds and come speeding alongside you, forcing their way in. And nobody likes that. So Dave is saying, no, I don't let them in. They saw the same signs I saw. So a lot of difference of opinion here. Jeff said, Sioux Falls drivers won't let you in if you have your signal on for a mile. Most of the time, if they see your signal, they speed up to close the gap. Jeff, you're not the only one that's happening to, man. You're not the only one. Happens to me, too. Tom, top fan of mine on Facebook, driving in and around Sioux Falls has gotten insane. The stoplights are terrible, he says. I drove the posted speed limit, hit 8 red lights in a row, many cars behind me, and can't even get into the merging, he says. Number of people like that as well. Travis, you saw the signs at the same time I did. Should have gotten over then. No cutting in line. Your failure to plan is not my problem. See, this is going to be one of those issues, I think. The city's out there promoting the zipper merge, but Art, the entire reason a merge doesn't work. Slows both lanes, causes accidents at the last second. Nate says it makes no sense to pretend a road is a one-way lane before it's one lane. All it does is make traffic worse. Zipper merge works if people pull their heads out, he's saying. Just because some people have always done it one way doesn't mean it makes sense. That's a pretty good point, I think, that Nate is making. So what do you think? I welcome your thoughts in the comments. Anyway, you can find that entire post on the Greg Belfrage Show page at Facebook. Let me close that because I want to go over to Mayor Paul Tenakin because he was sporting that there he is. Boom. Here he was yesterday. Don't ignore the urge. And that's the sexy t-shirt. That is what a zipper merge looks like. So, in other words, look at all this lane space that's wasted over here, where you get all of these people then. I don't know, is this a case where you just have a longer line? Is it the same number of people that are still trying to get through, now just divided in two different lanes? No, I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm just wondering. Now, the city is claiming it decreases backups by 40%. So zipper merging. And he's saying that drivers that are doing this are not rude. And I would agree. Where maybe I would differ, I would say, is then it's the person behind the person you let in. And this is the points that Steve was making as I was sharing some of these comments with you. It's the person behind them who thinks they're going to go too. You know what I mean? You find that everywhere. You stop to let one person in, and generally it's 5 people that you just let in. So, and I think that's part of the issue. So what's I'm trying to look at your comments here. Construction people need to get from point A to point B. Sometimes they take the same route. So we just each let one in at a time as soon as we see the sign merge. Brian is saying, I try and keep room for 1 or 2 vehicles to merge. After that, I'm going to close the door. Robert says, I drive my wife nuts. You're not the only one, Robert, who drives their wife nuts. He said, I may not have to merge or turn on for miles, but I try to get in the lane that I need right away. See, now I'm old school that way. I do the same. That I get into the lane that I need. When I see the signs, it's like, oh, I just showed you from the mayor's Facebook page. You know, he's got that graphic up there. And when I see the signs, left lane closed ahead, what do? You make sure you're in the right lane, right? I thought that's why we put up the signs, is to tell you, hey, get in whatever lane is going to remain open. I've been doing that. I don't know. I mean, as long as I've been driving, as long as I remember, I've been doing that. So I think, and I'm not saying this is a bad idea, zipper merging, but when it comes to these issues of traffic, I'm going to trust people who work. And now this is not just the mayor is out there promoting it, but this is coming from city engineers, right? So it's coming from traffic engineers. These are the people that work with this. So I'm like, okay, well, I understand what you're saying. I'll try. I'm going to try. So I will do this. I will try zipper merging. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if others will do the same, because I think it's pretty well documented how badly I hate driving in this town. Drives me absolutely insane. Driving in this town is crazy. And it's people who speed. It's people who run red lights. It's people who are not going to merge. It's people on their cell phones. I mean, or let you merge, rather. It's all of this stuff. So driving in this town is terrible. You know, I have been an outspoken opponent of the way that people drive in this town. I have wanted to see it change for a very long time. The city, I was thinking, if you're an old-time Sioux Falls person, you remember the Drive to Arrive campaign that Sioux Falls Mayor Gary Hansen had? It was called Drive to Arrive. And there were radio PSAs, television PSAs that ran as well. Drive to Arrive. In other words, slow down, man. Slow down and get there safely. And I think something like that is needed in this town. Seriously. Will that change the way anybody drives? I don't know that it will. I would like to believe. Do you have to at least make the effort? You have to try to convince people, hey, this is what you should do. You know, slow down. Let's try this. Be thoughtful, be courteous, especially when you're on the road. And that's not how most people drive in this town. I don't want to say most. But there is a significant number of people who do not drive that way. They are speeding. Speeding is just phenomenal. And I don't know what your Sioux Falls police, what do? People are speeding everywhere. It's one of the reasons why I set my cruise control, even in town. And I set, seriously, speed limit's 35. I set my cruise control at 40, and I got people blowing by me like crazy. The traffic is driving at faster than that. So generally it's driving at over 5 miles an hour above the speed limit. I just refuse to go any faster than that. So if you drive with the flow of traffic, you're going to wind up doing probably, in some cases, 8 to 10 miles an hour over the limit. That says something about us in our community. That's the approach we take. And so as we talk about the zipper merge and being courteous, I don't see a lot of courtesy. I'm not saying it's out there or not out there, because it is. I see some of it, and drivers have responded to me with courtesy, which I appreciate, always appreciate it. but I think you're probably more likely to get a middle finger from another driver than you are to get courtesy. That's been my experience. Maybe I drive like a lunatic. I don't know. I don't know. But we really have got to show patience and courtesy when we're out there on the road. Okay. So I appreciate your comments. If you missed that, for those of you who follow me on Facebook, that was my post this morning. It's around 5:30 this morning that I posted that. So if you scroll back and you want to comment, share your point of view, if you haven't already done so, please do so. I enjoy having so many of you who are participating in the conversations, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or whether it's on the air. I really enjoy this. I love mixing it up with all of you. Okay, I mentioned this on the air this morning. No Kings. No Kings is coming to Sioux Falls. Then the No Kings mass protest this Saturday from 11 to 2. There's the location, 300 North Minnesota Avenue. And this just cracks me up. I was on this earlier. I want to thank Rick, by the way. It was Rick who brought this to my attention this morning. Actually emailed me last night with a link to this page. So about the event in America, we don't put up with would-be kings. No Kings is a national day of action and mass mobilization in response to the increasing authoritarian excesses and corruption from Trump and his allies. Oh, please. Really? Do we have to do this? Must we? So they're taking to the streets nationwide. We're not gathering to feed Trump's ego. We're building a movement that leaves Trump behind. So you're out there celebrating what? Lawlessness? I mean, seriously. That's what are you talking about? Enforcing the law makes you a king? That if you say, these are laws, that have been passed by Congress. And by the way, there's a number of these events that are going on across the state. It's not just Sioux Falls. Yankton's got one coming. Brookings, I think, also has one. So there are a number of them that will be taking place across the state. And I thought, well, first of all, thank you for the heads up, because I'll make sure I avoid that. I'll avoid that at all costs. But the No Kings movement, enforcing the law? Enforcing the law? And I talked about this near the end of the program this morning, and I'm just get blown away by these people who you go out there and you vigorously enforce a law, and you're a king, man. You're acting like a king. What in the fresh hell are you talking about? That just absolutely is mind-blowing to me. So you're going to have those protests taking place across the state and, in fact, across the country. But those are some of the places in South Dakota that will see that coming up this Saturday. And we're going to leave it there for today. You've made it to the end of the video. So you're part of my gallery of champions. A special salute, as we do each and every day, to the Bunker Brigade. Those are the folks that you see, especially on YouTube, but also on Facebook. Tom's on Facebook and commenting, but a good number of folks are on YouTube. The Bunker Brigade, that's those of you who are here each and every day, and I just really appreciate it. I would also appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. If you like what we're doing, you're here every day, hit the like button. It's a minor step, but very few people do it. If you would do it, I'd be very, very grateful. So we're going to end it there for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, I'm underground and go.